Welcome back to Desert Smoke Reviews. This is Justin.
And Wyatt?
And Steve. He's back
Steve.
for another review with us. Today or this evening, we're coming at you with this. It's a Signature Collection Sun-Grown. I got these on a free sampler, so I know almost nothing about them. I've been told that they are a collection online only, and it might be even a Cigar International only, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So I'm kind of going into this blind. But right off, I've got 3 major veins, and construction's okay. The seams are tight, but they're visible. I've got one little area by the cap that looks like it's got a bit of a stretch mark, but it's coming in. It's nice dark brown. Cap looks done. It's firm pack, except for right around the band point I've got a little mushy spot. Aroma, not getting much at all actually. Maybe just some light natural tobacco. Same with the foot. What?
Yeah, construction-wise, I've just got one huge vein running through the cigar. But other than that, firm pack, looks like a good stick, looks like good construction and all that. But off the aroma, yeah. It's like that Indian tobacco that we reviewed. I get hardly anything off the aroma, so that could be a good thing, or it could be a bad thing. We'll see. I cut mine already, and my draw seems a little bit tight, but again, we'll see if that becomes an issue. But sun-grown sticks, I've had a couple that I really, really enjoyed, and I've had a couple that I didn't really enjoy, so walking into this with an open mind. I've never heard of this cigar before, but we've reviewed a couple that neither of us knew hardly anything about and ended up really enjoying them, so we'll see. Steve?
Thank you, Wyatt. Did you say this was a sun-grown?
Sun-grown.
That's interesting. I'm not getting much of an aroma off of this cigar either. Not sure if that's a thing with lighter cigars, but the other sun-grown we reviewed the night we did the Añejo, that had an aroma to it, if I remember correctly. I have 2 veins coming through this cigar. It feels in my hands pretty consistent throughout for this cigar, no dead spots. The pack looks pretty good on it, and as with every cigar, I try to keep an open mind, smoke everything at least once, so I know what it's like, and looking forward to lighting it up and seeing what it's about.
Let's get it lit up, toast it up, and see how it develops. I think we're down to 1 lighter. There.
First puff, I get nothing. It's not bad, but there's just no real taste to it in the first puff. It's dry, but my draw is fine. I don't get much of anything. How about you?
I get just kind of a light tobacco, maybe a bit of spice coming in on the finish, but nothing really predominant. It's not bad. It's actually relatively smooth. Just not a long flavor there. Still light in body, or mild in body, probably mild in strength as well. I'm not getting much, but we'll see how it goes. Steve?
Not getting too much either. Just first thing I notice off of this is I'm getting two dips here on each side of the cigar, which is a little bit strange to happen immediately, but we'll see what happens as the cigar gets further down. So far not very interesting. I think it might turn out to be a one-trick pony, but we'll see what happens.
Let's get into the first third, see how it develops.
Welcome to the side note. Tonight we have a nice Pinot Noir. It's Russian River Valley 2011 Picket Fence.
Show them the
Put the
bottle.
cigar down and show you the bottle. It's that's the bottle. Hopefully it comes up on camera for you. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a 2012 Pinot Noir Picket Fence. And it's a very nice wine. Very, it's a lighter Pinot Noir. You can really taste the grapes in it. Has
Not to interrupt, but shouldn't you taste the grapes in wines?
Well,
That's what it's made of.
you should. You should, but some wines you get other notes, other flavors. So, there's wine, a little bit of blackberry that's coming through. Good wine for cheese or even a good steak. Has good legs on it, coming through on the glass. Kind of a blackberry, little bit of oak. Very nice, well-rounded wine that pairs with a cigar, cheese or steak, maybe even a firmer fish, even though they say reds and fish don't mix, but something like a tuna steak probably go well with that as well. And that's all. Unless you have anything to add, Justin?
I don't know shit about wine. I barely know Scotch, but tastes good. But well, we'll get back to you as we get into the first third.
I'd like to say something about what I'm drinking. I'm drinking some coffee, and I get a nice note of coffee. There's a little bit of coffee. There's a little bit of ice, especially in the finish. This would pair well with a donut or a cigarette in the morning. But off the aroma, I get a little bit of plastic. So we'll check back in with you.
Very fine iced coffee.
But very
Welcome back. We're well into the first third. I'm an inch down on one side and about a half inch on the other. Burn has not been great, but we're about 10 minutes in. Still, for me, it's for a sun-grown. I'm still very mild in body, and I would say mild in strength as well. It's still relatively smooth, a lot smoother than that Indian tobacco. It's much more smokable than that. But I'm still just getting a light, natural tobacco. The finish it's long, but you know, there's not a whole lot going on with it really. I'm just really now just getting a natural light tobacco. Maybe the spice is still there, but very fleeting. Not every draw seems to have the spice. Maybe a bit of nuttiness coming in, but even that's still fleeting. Right now, it's just a light, natural tobacco for me.
These two guys have had some burn problems, but I haven't. So far, I said my draw was fine, but it's actually a little constricted, but that's all right. I'm still not really getting much of anything off the flavor. I mean, it's like Justin said, that compared to the Indian tobacco, there's more flavor than that. But I mean, it's just light, natural tobacco, I guess. You know, nothing really specific. The finish doesn't last very long. But yeah, I mean, not bad. Certainly smokable, and I'm enjoying it. But you know, if I was going to say specifically this tastes like something, then well, I couldn't say that. So, but Steve.
Well, definitely tastes like tobacco. Thank you.
That's a good thing.
Which is always good for a cigar, but not very interesting so far. Very bland. Maybe something of a dog walker. I had one really bad canoeing issue earlier. Or,
A runner?
A runner, yes, thank you. A really bad runner earlier, which seems to have corrected itself, which is good. And see what happens, but still pretty uninteresting.
Well, let's get into the midpoint and the second third. See how it develops. Welcome back. We're about halfway on this Signature Collection Sun-Grown. Kind of really didn't even need to come back with you guys. We've had absolutely, for me at least, no flavor change at all. Body's still the same, very mild. Burn is still wonky for me, but touch up here and there, it seems to be performing okay with that. Draw is fine, just, you know, no change, absolutely no change for me. It's still relatively smooth, so it's something I don't feel bad about still smoking. Not like a couple others I'd have to put down. It's still smokable, but no changes for me. How about you, Wyatt?
Yeah, no real changes. This thing pumps out the smoke at the top, and my draw, I made another cut to the draw, and I'm still getting kind of a tough draw, but whatever. Mine's burning a little slower than theirs, but yeah, no flavor change. You know, I haven't had any real construction issues. The burn has always been fine. I probably have to agree with Steve. This is a great cigar for walking your dog.
Thank you, Wyatt. Definitely a good outdoor cigar, something that you don't really have to care too much about if you're golfing, if someone steps on it or runs over for the cart. I haven't had to touch it up, so that's a plus, but overall, so far, very unimpressive, very boring one-note cigar. But again, not bad if you're looking for something to walk the dog with or do some yard work or anything outdoors where something could happen to it.
Well, let's get into the final third. See if we get any changes. I have my doubts, but we will see. Well, welcome back. We just got into the final third, but we thought we'd come back to you. For me, this cigar went just right when I got into that final third. Super harsh. The smoke got really hot, and it had a nice, or not nice, but a definite acidic aftertaste. You know, for everything in the first half, was really, you know, just a one note, very plain, very smokable and smooth, enough to keep you interested, enough to keep it lit. But man, this final third, it just went harsh and acidic for me.
What's your rating?
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's just me that got the harsh acidic, so I'll still keep the rating about a 5, because up until this point, I had no problem smoking it. It was uninteresting, but it was smooth enough that I didn't feel like I had to put it down until about now. So I'll give it a nice 5.
Yeah, we've talked before about task cigars, and like Steve was saying, I agree. You know, just for a day at the golf course or something, or you just kicking back, you got something to do, and you don't want to focus on your cigar, I'd say it's good. Like I was saying earlier, mine burns a lot slower than theirs for some reason, so I have yet to get to the area where they were at and get that acidic flavor. But to me, so far, it's just been mellow, one note, never a bad note, but just kind of tasteless. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd do a little higher. I'd do like a 5.5, just because I've enjoyed it. It's gone fine with a cup of coffee, and I haven't, I don't really have anything bad to say against it. It's just, it never really picks up any taste. So, Steve, you look like you hit the acidic taste.
I just did, yes. It seems to be just about the only consistent thing about these cigars, comparing among us three, but I guess I just hit the acidic point. Up until now, it's been a very, very dull cigar, not a cigar that I'm disappointed to put down. Not a cigar I'd be disappointed if someone ran over it with their golf cart. The best thing it has going for it is I didn't have to touch it up. The wrapper didn't crack, and it tasted like tobacco well up until now. I'd have to agree with Wyatt's rating. I'd put it about a 5.5 for all the reasons mentioned before. But up until about there, it was smokable, but a very bland and boring cigar.
Well, in conclusion, if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. But till next time, smoke 'em if you got 'em.